Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So a bit of a break from the Fly Sky stuff and something that I just had to get because it amused me. Years ago my dad had a Mitsubishi Delica and I seen this on AliExpress and for less than like 40 quid delivered. I thought why not. They do two versions of it. You can get a two-wheel drive version and a four-wheel drive. This is the four-wheel drive. They do them in a whole bunch of different colours. But yeah, it just amused me for the price. I thought it's coming up to the time of year when people might be looking for like little stocking full of Christmas presents and the like. So why not get one in? So yeah, let's bring in for a closer look and see what we get for less than 40 quid. We're 1/24 scale RC from AliExpress. So we've got a pretty basic box. There's not a lot on it in English. It says 1/24 scale, red, yellow and black. I believe these ones are the four-wheel drive ones. It does strangely give you a few measurements on the box. So we've got 22.3 by 11.8 high, 9.7 wide. So we do get some instructions. Not holding out much hope for an awful lot being in here. So we do get a bit of a breakdown from it. We do get a USB charger, one battery, one transmitter, one set of instructions. It tells you to move the little clip to get the battery out. We need a couple of AA batteries for transmitter. I know these are a bit weird in how they set up because you've got a 3-speed switch on the transmitter but a 3-speed switch on the RC itself. It does say you use the bind button to turn the car headlights on and off, and then it says double press to fine tune memory function of front servo, long press to cancel. Not really sure what that's about. But it looks like we do have steering trim, throttle trim and servo reverse. So yeah, should be pretty usable. It says it's fully proportional, front, back, left and right. 7.4 volt lithium battery, 4-wheel drive. And it does say we've got the little switch on the bottom that's low, neutral and high speed. Which strangely enough, I think it's the same on the actual transmitter. You've got a 3-position switch, but it's like low, nothing, high. So 2-position switch or 2-speed, but says it's 3. It does say if you're storing for a long time, it should be kept at 50 to 60% battery capacity to extend life at battery. Nice to see that even a cheap Chinese thing that comes with a lithium battery actually tells you. It does say fully charge the battery and then use it for 20 minutes before storing it for a long time. So you should get a pretty decent battery life out of this if it's saying 20 minutes for 50 to 60%. But I do like the way it tells you how to store a LiPo. Even though the charger is probably just a basic one. But yeah, just tell you how to look after your LiPo. So it comes in this nice packaging pretty much for what it is. We have a little charger. So although they're not my favourite, it is a charger. It does say as output, inputs 5 volt 1 amp, output 7.4 volt, 1000 milliamp hour, so again 1 amp. We have a little transmitter, so we've got power on off, your bind that you press to turn lights on and off, apparently. Servo reverse, so I guess you'll press it and then press it and it'll reverse it. Steering trim, throttle trim. I'm not sure why it says trim plus dual rate. I'll have to poke about with that. It doesn't mention anything in instructions, but that's your 3-speed switch. So it's 1 speed, neutral, and then other speed. Not sure which way is high and low yet. But the star of the show, the little Mitsubishi Delica. Looks like we do have removable wheels, so we've got screws in each one at wheels, so we can remove them. The detailing on bodywork is pretty impressive. We got like spare wheels and a toolbox and a jerry can. Very hard to show on camera, but it has got an interior with cup holders and everything. Looks like there's some instruments on dash, like heater controls. Does have seats in the front as well. Then we got his wipers, mirrors, loads of lights. Big bull bar. Underneath we got his front and rear drive shaft. Servo mounted on axle. Should make the steering pretty good. Not damped shocks, but for this sort of price and for what this is aimed at, I don't think that'd matter. Then we've got us 3-speed switch for us gears. So you got all the way forward, mid, and then if you just rock the wheels, you can get it all the way back. So that's us 3 different gears. You just need to spin it to get it to go all the way in. On-off button, and then as little clip for his battery, you just slide that to one side, lift that out. We have our little battery, and we're looking at a 7.4 volt, 380 milliamp hour little LiPo. So basically, to charge it up, all we have to do is plug this in and then get the USB, plug it in, and when the lights stop doing what they're doing, it's fully charged. I think it does tell you in instructions. I think it's red and flashing green, and when it goes solid, it's fully charged. But it does tell you. So let's get this charged up. Let's get some batteries in transmitter and see if we can have a bit of a play about with it, see what it does. So we now got the battery fully charged. Doesn't take very long. If we flip the bottom open, see we've got one battery that way, one battery that way, and then it just flips shut. I think these batteries are a bit flat, so you'll probably get that light flashing. And then our battery in the RC, we just need to connect this. So you just get the little flap under that side, pop it down, move the little catch, and then we press it to power up. We got a load of flashing lights. If we then turn this transmitter on, so let's have a look what we've got. So steering looks pretty good, and as I say, if you want to reverse it, if you press it and then press that, it'll reverse it. So if yours is the wrong way out the box, you can swap it. We don't have any lights on the back, but we do have a whole load of lights on the front. It does say if you tap the bind button, it should turn lights on and off. So yep, that seems to work. Not sure what the first press did, because it didn't seem to do it, but yeah, that's us lights on off. Steering, so we do have trim, and same for throttle. See, it just started twitching, and you do get a solid beep. As yet, I've not managed to find out what the trim dual rate does. Because if we press the button at any point, it just alters trim. I've tried pressing both, and it still does trim. Tried turning it, and it still does trim. So not really sure what we do with that. It does say if you press and hold bind, it does something else. So well, that still seems to be doing trim. So if we double tap, it just turns lights off, but that still alters trim. If we press and hold, we get flashing lights, but that still does trim. So yeah, not really sure how you get dual rate, but at any rate, if you press the bind button enough times, you will get the lights turn on and off. So speed wise, it is pretty controllable. So if we have this switch all the way back and this switch all the way back, it goes quite quick. If you have this in middle, it does nothing. If you have it forward, so forward is the lower speed, all the way back high speed, and then if we change this gearing, so if you switch it to middle, you get no drive. If you switch it all the way forward, you may have to just spin wheels a little bit to get it all the way forward, and then all the way forward on this. So we have really slow. If you go back on here, a little bit quicker, but nowhere near as fast as when you're in the back position. So as a rule, forward is the slowest position on both of these. If we move it to the center on either one, you get no drive. So center on here, no drive, center on there, you'll just get motor spinning. And then all the way back and all the way back on the gears. And remember, just move wheels a little bit and it'll go in. And that's your high speed. So I think we need to have a little bit of a play with this. So let's put it into the slowest speed. So definitely be slow enough for any youngsters to get hold of. But I think let's take this outside and have a play. See what we can find with it. So this is on the slowest setting on the transmitter and slowest setting on the RC. As you see, we're not going to break any land speed records. So if you wanted to do a little bit of crawling, definitely with four-wheel drive and no diffs, definitely able to crawl around. And it surprised me, it does get over more than what I'd think it would. The only thing you have to watch is that. You have to watch for it getting knocked out of gear, which is not ideal. But as you see, that's the slowest speed. So if we knock it up into its next speed on the transmitter, it's definitely quicker. I find it hilarious the way it bobbles around. So if we then change the gearing on it, so if we move this all the way back, then put it back into a slowest on transmitter, let's see what difference we have. Oh, that is a lot quicker, and that's on slow. So this is on the slowest setting. And if we put it up onto the highest, that's a lot quicker than I actually thought it would be. It looks like it's tracking slightly one way, so we can correct that on transmitter. I think this thing will wheelie. Yep. That is crazy. Yeah, that's going pretty straight. Does look like that front wheel keeps getting stuck though. Might have to have a look at that. Not sure if it had a stone stuck under there. Nah, that's stuck again. If you let off, it comes back up. And stuck again. Definitely gonna have a look, see why that wheel keeps getting stuck. But yeah, not bad range on this little thing to set batteries a flat in transmitter. But yeah, overall, fun little thing. You can do little jumps. We just need to see if we can stop the front tyre getting stuck. Yeah, you can see what it's doing. It's kind of getting stuck under there and pulling it down. Does look like it leans slightly to that side. But to be totally honest, for 40 quid this thing's bloody hilarious. But yeah, there you go. Little wheelie Delica. Wheelies in reverse. Yeah, this thing's a lot of fun. Certainly for a cheap £40 thing, I don't think this is too bad. As I say, we've got lights that we can turn on and off. But it is what it is. It's a cheap little 40 quid RC. And I think if you got a bunch of these, you could have a lot of fun. But let's wrap this one up. So, quick modification with the side snips. This front mudguard here, I've just trimmed it, and now the wheel no longer gets stuck in them. So it just coming really close and just grabbing that tyre as the wheel goes round. But no, it's absolutely fine. So very easy mod. Doesn't look as scale now because we've took the little end bit off, but it don't get stuck. I think you could have a whole lot of fun with a bunch of these. Yeah, there's a few little drawbacks. If you're gonna do some crawling with it, when you put this into that position, if you put some clear tape over it or something to stop it getting knocked, because it is quite low, so as you crawl it's going to get pushed into neutral. So yeah, you could fix that easily. If it's back in high speed, anything hits it, it's not going to change it anyway. You've got no diffs, so it is quite good for crawling, or if you want to race around on sort of loose ground. And the soft suspension just makes it hilarious. It does wheelie in front, forward and reverse. But yeah, I think for probably just under £40 delivered, there's a whole lot of messing about and a whole lot of fun you can have. And I dare say, if you really wanted to, you could play around modifying hell out of it. It's a standard 3-wire servo by the looks of it. So steering servo's just a 3-wire. So I think, yeah, definitely modifications could be done. It's got a lot of details on it, like the ladder, reversing mirror, wipers, bumpers, and it is a hard body. So yeah, definitely a lot of potential if you guys want to mess around and mod these things. Certainly a lot of things you could do with it. But yeah, I think for £40 it's a pretty hilarious little thing, and if you bought a whole bunch of them, there's no reason why you couldn't race them all round. Set yourself a little track up and go racing Mitsubishi Delicas. We got a little off button on bottom, power it off, and you can just press and hold and power your transmitter off. So there we have it, the tiny little 1/24 scale Mitsubishi Delica 4-wheel drive. Requires a little bit of mods to stop front tyres getting stuck, but other than that, that is actually quite a lot of fun. And even if you put it in slower mode, you could have a lot of fun racing these around in the living room. But yeah, let's wrap this one up. So there we have it, the JXC Mitsubishi Delica 4-wheel drive. That's a whole lot of fun. For less than 40 quid delivered. Get a bunch of them with your mates, buy them for youngsters. You can slow it right down, you can rock crawl with it to a certain degree. It's not going to beat an SCX24, but anybody getting into RC or just wants to have a whole bunch of fun with a group of your mates really cheaply, yeah, I don't think you can beat it. And as always, I'll leave a link in the description below if anyone is interested in one of these. But thanks again for watching WTF RC Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you in the next one.